But we begin with our report on the shooting and dumping of dogs. Last week we received a phone call from a dog owner in Northland who described a most unpleasant scene. He claimed to have found a number of open holes in the ground filled with dead dogs who'd been shot in the head. To be honest, we found that a little hard to believe. So we drove to Whangarei to have a look for ourselves, and we saw exactly what he'd described. Now, a warning. The images in the following report may be disturbing to some viewers. Here's Claire Sylvester.
This is council land right in Whangarei. There are no warnings to keep people out. The only sign we could see is for the McDonald's Children's Living Forest. But a short walk off the road is a shocking sight. There are 7 deep holes, 2 of them filled with dogs. They are graves for the pound's unclaimed dogs, but these graves don't even have the dignity of cover. So how do you think this? It's been shot.
It's been shot through the ear.
Right. That's not so long ago either, yeah?
No, they're both still, it's only been yesterday.
Still got its collar on. Under New Zealand law, shooting unwanted dogs is legal and still practised at a few other councils. We were brought up here by Warren and Alan, who are part of a group of local dog owners concerned about how the council's dog control service is run.
Well, I think it's very barbaric. I mean, it's 2007. We're not in the 1920s in the outbacks of Africa. I mean, I just think it's insane that the way that they're doing it, and basically it's not humane.
And what a last few minutes on earth.
We showed the pictures to the SPCA's Bob Kerridge.
These are not nice scenes, to think that animals are dispatched this way in this modern age when there are much more humane ways of dispatching animals.
Well, how else can you kill an animal if you have to do this? How else can you do it?
The most humane way, of course, is by injection. It's very quick.
And you need a vet to do that.
You need a vet to do that. And that's certainly the most humane way. One of the things that we've been very concerned with the Dog Control Act for many, many years is the inconsistency. The Dog Control Act allows local authorities to make their own bylaws, their own regulations, and to enforce them basically whichever way they want to. What this system creates is what I would term cowboy councils.
We phoned a number of councils and found that Auckland, Hamilton, Wellington and Dunedin all use lethal injection to put down unclaimed dogs. Christchurch City Council uses a captive bolt, similar to that used in freezing works. Kay Thorpe's dog was put down a couple of months ago. She's in a dispute with the council over whether they contacted her when her dog went missing. The council said it did. While that goes on, she's grieving for her dog. Do you know how they put your dog down?
They shoot them and throw them in an offal pit.
What do you think of that?
Well, it'd be like picking up one of my grandchildren and shooting it and throwing it in a hole. That's how I felt. We loved him.
Whangarei vet Dr. Ross Wood says it's time the council had a rethink on how it put down dogs.
While I don't know that there's anything wrong with shooting dogs from a welfare perspective, the animals, if they die instantly, there is no problem. But I think New Zealand's moved on a little bit from that now, and I think the cultural aspects for most New Zealanders would mean that most animals should be put down by injection rather than being shot.
We return to the dog pits, this time with some guests, a local councillor and officials from OSH and the regional council.
It's obviously a pretty disgusting sight. I don't know how these animals were euthanised, whether it was prior to going in the hole or not, but certainly we would want to look at that. Obviously animals have to be put down humanely, and this doesn't look very humane at all. In fact, it looks pretty disgusting.
Both OSH and the regional council have started inquiries into the safety of this site.
The uncovered holes could lead to the discharge of contaminants downstream. They could lead to odour problems and also vermin potentially becoming more prolific in the area here. There's also the possibility in heavy rain that some of those dogs with their distended stomachs that we observed today could float out of the holes and down the hill, and obviously that's an undesirable situation.
Whangarei's mayor and the manager of dog control vigorously defend their methods. They both believe shooting unwanted dogs is acceptable in this rural district, and they point out that death by injection would be much more expensive, but it will be considered as part of a review of dog policy.
That's not easy. That's a reality. If dogs are left unregistered, people can't be contacted, and abandoned, they are shot.
Am I happy it's the most humane way? I don't know. It's debatable. If you are going to euthanize a dog at the vet, you've got to put him in the van, you've got to take him to the vet. He's in a strange place with strange smells, as he is with the pound. You shave his leg and you inject into the main vein, and it can take 2 or 3 minutes, and the dog is incredibly stressed out. When you shoot a dog, you take the dog outside, you shoot it in the head, and it's instantaneous, and it's taken 30 seconds.
The discovery of open and unfenced pits by OSH and the regional council was more of a concern.
If there are standards that have to be met, of course, in terms of environmental standards and OSH standards, they have to be met, and I would expect that as mayor.
It hasn't been safe up there for at least a week.
That's
at least
correct.
a week.
And that's not on.
It's not good enough.
No, that's my fault. When OSH contact us, as I'm sure they will, whatever they recommend, we will do.
50 dog owners who attended a council meeting here today went away wishing they could get a response like that out of the council.